Good morning, I'm Brad Phillips here with Puppy Steps Training, and today I've got Aussie hanging out with me. I'm super excited to show you all of his training, walk through everything that we've worked on and where he's at. He's a very, very sweet little guy, very affectionate, loves to be pet, loves to have belly rubs. He does have a micro attention span though, so I'm really hoping that we can get through all of this in one go, but it definitely might be broken up through several training sessions. But we're going to see what he's going to give me this morning. So once again, I'm very excited to show you this. The way that this demonstration is going to go, so first and foremost, you should have watched that other video, which I believe that you already mentioned that you did. This video is going to be specific to Aussie. We're going to go over his manners, the obedience commands, and the leash work. So Aussie's doing a great job. Definitely likes to do his own thing. He's kind of an independent little guy. So it is going to be very important that you are consistent and you follow through. Don't allow Aussie to get away with ignoring you, especially when we give him a command. Don't let him run away from you, because that was definitely his MO. He'd love to, I don't even know that I should say loved, but if given the opportunity to ignore and run away, that was what he was doing. So we've spent a lot of time training on the leash, and that's going to be the go-to. So until you develop this relationship with Aussie, keep him on a leash while you're training, so that way he doesn't get to ignore you and go the other direction. If he's focused on you, he does a really, really great job. I'm happy with where he's at, especially for how small he is. He seems to be doing really, really well. So once again, the way this is going to go, we're going to start with his manners, and then we'll move into the commands and the leash work. The first manner that I'm going to show you is Aussie's gates and his doorways. So anytime we let Aussie out of the crate, we go through a house door. I do this with every closed door in our facility and every closed gate. So that includes our kennels, our exterior gates, and our yards. Coming inside, going even to the back room, I expect him to hold an automatic stay. So I shouldn't have to tell him anything. He should just do this automatically. And we've been teaching him these thresholds. So you can do the same thing in your home. You can teach him any threshold you would like. Bare minimum, make sure that you always keep this for coming out of the crate, as well as any exterior doors. So those are times where he's probably going to be a little more excited. And then when we're going outside, we never know what's on the other end of the door, or the other side of the door, I should say. So it's just important that we can work on his impulse control and make sure that we're safe and we're helping him understand what our expectations are. So if I open this crate door and Aussie decides to try and walk out, even if he just stuck one paw, I will just close that and tell him no. If he managed to get through, I'm going to tell him no, go and get him, put him back in, and we're going to try that again. I don't want him thinking that if he's fast enough or if he's sneaky enough, he can get away with ignoring that threshold. When we're going outside, typically I have a leash attached to him. So that way, if he tried to walk through, I could just simply correct that, or I could even lift my leg and block him, but he doesn't get to just run outside. So once again, same expectation. If he were to bolt through that doorway, I am going to go and get him and have him do it again. We never end on failure. Failure is a very important part of learning. However, it's just never where we end. So we're always going to train to success. We're always going to help him succeed, even if that means I need to break down a behavior to the simplest form. I always want to end on success. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get Aussie out. When I let him out, I'm going to hook the leash on him. We're going to walk him over, and I'll slide this out so you can see. So we're going to have him push his button, and then we will go outside to the bathroom, give him that opportunity to go before we start getting into the rest of our training. So you're going to see both the crate door as well as the house door here, and then I'll also show you him pushing the button. So as you went through that other video that went through like our house training expectations, teaching him the button was very similar to the bells. It's just obviously a different object. So when you get him home and you're showing him the button at home, just hook a leash, come and stand in front of it and wait for him to touch it. A lot of times I'll just stare and wait for him to do it. I don't need to crouch down or get at his level. He just needs to see it and push it. Sometimes he misses, and so I just don't say anything. I only mark it when he actually touches it. So, all right, buddy. Okay, good boy. So I don't care what position he's in, as long as he's patiently waiting. He can be sitting, standing, laying down. Oh, that's a good boy. Yeah, that's a good boy. He just needs to show that he's being calm and in control. So now we're going to walk over to his button here, and I'm just going to stare at it and wait for him to touch it. Okay, good boy. Good outside. So there, you going to push it again? Missed it. But we've been just having him ring it once when we take him out. The first couple times in your home, you can have him ring it again, just sitting here staring at it. Oh, you clicked it, but it didn't go off, huh? Okay, outside, good boy. But now we're going to go out. So once again, I don't care what position he's in, as long as he's being calm and he's patiently waiting. Okay, good boy. So same expectation when we're coming in, just needs to show he's waiting and he's in control. Okay, good boy. Good boy. Huh. I'm going to slide our button out of the way so I don't step on it. Come here. So that's our doorways. If you have any questions, let me know. The next manner that we're going to talk about is Aussie's greeting, which is basically what he's doing right here. So we have taught Aussie that if he wants my attention, he needs to sit to get it. This is a replacement behavior for like jumping and pawing and really like anything that's an attention-seeking behavior. So my expectation is that if I call him over, if I say, Aussie, and he walks over to me, he sits before he gets any attention. Oh, good boy. Now, we are to a point where I'm not giving him a treat every single time we do that. Anytime that I call him over, a lot of times he just gets my attention and my affection. Good boy, huh? However, for the first few weeks that you have him, you want to be really consistent with giving him a treat, or at least some high praise and pets. We don't want to ignore this behavior, because otherwise then you're going to get a dog that starts jumping or pawing or doing something to get your attention. So, and this isn't to say that every time you want to pet him, he needs to sit down. But we want to ask for these check-ins regularly, as well as any time that we've been away from him, or he's been in the crate for a while, or if he's got a lot of energy, we want to just make sure that he's calm and he's in control, patiently waiting to get my attention. So this is going to be one of the first things that you work on when you get Aussie home. So I'm going to demonstrate this little exercise I'm going to have you do. This is great. We call it our greeting exercise, or our sit to greet. It's also what we consider an engagement exercise. It's going to get Aussie paying attention to you. He's going to get a lot of treats, and it's very simple and very fun for him. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your leash, you're going to take your treats. I'm just going to say his name, take a few steps back, and wait for him to sit. Once he does, I'll say, okay, give him the treat, and then we'll do it again. So I'll do this 3 times in a row, and both of you are going to do this probably 3 or 4 times a day for the first few days. So it's going to look like this. I'm just going to say, Aussie. I'm going to take a few steps back. Once he sits, okay, good boy, good boy. And then I'll do it again, Aussie. So it's great. He's following me, and he's just getting easy rewards. Okay, good boy. And for me on the third one, this is where I won't give him a treat, but I will pet him. So it looks like this, Aussie. Okay, good boy, good boy. And like I said, loves his belly rubs. Huh, yeah, you good boy. So super simple exercise. It's a great way to start developing this relationship with Aussie. Now, if at any time he jumps up during this, so if he tried to jump up on me, I'm just going to kind of step into him and bring my leg up. So I'm not going to extend. We're not kicking the dog. Okay, but it's just a quick shift like, I don't appreciate that. Might even shake him off if he does try and jump up. Jumping was definitely one of his biggest struggles. So we want to make sure that we're consistent in correcting that. So he doesn't get to jump up on me. He doesn't get to jump up on furniture or up on the cabinets or anything like that. If he does, I tell him off. And if he's at a distance, I'll clap to just drive that point home. If I'm giving him the treat and he rears up, then I'll pull it away and tell him no. I can also tell him gently. Gently is just to make sure that he has a soft mouth, which is not a problem for Aussie. He's not a little land shark. He's really soft with his mouth. But I could just tell him gently, and expect him to take that treat. Very polite, but he doesn't need to meet me halfway. If I'm lowering, I will get there. He doesn't need to jump up. So, Aussie. It's a very, very simple exercise. Great way to, once again, build that relationship, get him engaging with you. Yeah, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. So this is going to be the expectation that anytime we call him over, he sits. For both of you, you can create this expectation for anyone that has regular interactions with Aussie. So if you have other family members or friends that are going to see him almost daily, you could have them do the same exercise. For strangers, I'm not going to have them do this. I don't have the same expectations for strangers. So if somebody's coming over to your house and they want to meet him, you can have him on the leash. And I just tell people, ignore him until he sits and he's being polite. And you can kind of walk him up and have people then pet and meet him. But if we're out on a walk or out on the street, you're going to have people say, oh my gosh, he's so cute, can I pet him? To which 95% of the time I'm telling people no. The reason being, especially because you're in a busy environment, if we let everybody that asks pet him, pretty soon you're going to have a dog that thinks that he needs to go and meet everybody. And we don't want that, because then he's going to pull, he's going to jump, and he's going to get out of control. What typically happens is when you say yes, people come down here to pet him, he gets really excited, and if he starts jumping, it's harder to correct him, because you might have somebody kind of wrapped up in your leash, or you'll get the typical person that's like, no, it's okay, you don't need to correct him, I love dogs, or he's too young for that, which we do not want. So 95% of the time, just tell people no. The polite way to do that is just say, no, he's in training, and then I can step to the side and engage with him. Okay? Aussie loves people, and he absolutely loves other dogs. So we want to make sure that we're being smart about that. So the 5% of the time where you're okay with it, typically for me, that's somebody that I might know. So we're going to stop and talk to them for a few minutes. Or if it's like little children, I'm kind of a sucker for little kids, because I have little kids. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, you guys can pet the dog. So in that case, what I like to do is I'll tell people, yes, but we're going to approach you, and I need to make sure that Aussie's in control. Come here. So if we were walking towards somebody and they wanted to pet him and we were okay with it, I would have them stop, and then we would stop probably 5 or 6 feet short. I will have Aussie do this sit for me. Oh, good boy. And I can tell him he's a good boy. And then I can invite them up. So this way, where we're already stopped, I should have a short leash, and I'm prepared to correct him. So if he starts to pull, I can tell him no, and we can back up. If he starts to jump, I can tell him no and back up. So if he got out of control, I would just tell him no, and we're going to turn around, get a few feet away. So distance is always your friend. Have a little check-in, good boy, and then we can approach again and try it again. I just tell people, yes, you can pet him as long as he's in control. If he starts getting out of control, we're gonna back away and reset. Because strangers don't respect your rules. They don't care how much time, how much money you've put into this dog to make sure that he's being polite, and so they can quickly start to burn and ruin all of these manners that we've established, especially out on walks. He might be an angel in the house, and then you get him outside and he sees people and he wants to pull and he wants to jump and just get to them. So it's really important that we help him understand what our expectations are, even when we're out in public. So, yeah, you're a good boy. Like I said, he doesn't have to sit every time you want to pet him. You can definitely just love on him. Yeah, good boy. But we do need to make sure that he's in control when we are greeting people. Okay. So that is our greeting. The other thing, I guess, quickly to mention, especially with like jumping and mouthing. So if I'm down here, this is his go-to. He does like to flop over and he wants belly rubs. But if I'm down here at his level, I'm petting him, loving on him, and he tries to climb up, so I will still correct him. Like even though I'm down here, I'm not going to correct him because he's doing nothing wrong. But if he climbed up and was up on my leg, I would tell him off and just scoot him back. Oh, good boy. Like I said, most of the time he's just going to flop over. But if I let him put one paw here, then it's going to be two, and then he's jumping up in my face. So we need to make sure that he's being very polite. If at any time I was petting him and he started wanting to like chew on my watch band, or that's why I kind of wear a bracelet or a necklace or drawstrings, if he starts chewing on something like that, I'm going to tell him no, I'm going to close his mouth and then remove my hands. So anytime I correct him, I want to make sure that I'm not going, oh no, it's okay, don't do that, and still petting him, because that's just, he doesn't see that as a correction, he sees it as just a weird pet. Good boy. But he's not allowed to chew on me, he's not allowed to chew on my shoelaces, my pant legs, anything that's not his. If he is, I'm going to tell him no, correct him. I correct him by closing his muzzle. I'm not clamping down, I'm just making it very clear that I don't like that. If he keeps wanting to chew on something, then I'll replace it. Or if he's chewing on something like a baseboard or a pillow or something in our house, then I'll replace it with a toy. Okay, good boy. I do try and match texture when I replace things. So if he's chewing on something soft, I'm going to give him something soft. If he's chewing on something hard, then I'll give him something hard, like a bully stick. Come here. He loves our rug over there. Oh, he started and then he went back. So I'll probably have to go and get him. He has his own little cave over there where he likes to take everything and chew on them. So, but unfortunately, it's out of the camera. Good boy. Okay, we'll try and get him back over here so I can show you his drop it command. So when I work on drop it, I'm just incorporating myself into his play. Come here. Aussie, drop it. Good boy, good boy. So see that? He just let it go, and that's exactly what I want. He dropped it, he looked at me, and so I told him, good boy, I took it, and then I say okay when I throw it. Oh, that's a good dog. That's a good dog. Huh. Okay. Try and get him to play with it again. And not go over to the rug, huh? Well, you can go to that rug. Aussie, drop it. So here I'm going to give him a second. No. And then I'm going to take it. So that one he hesitated. When I actually took that, so he didn't try and hold on at all, but he didn't actually drop it. So that's why I had to take it. But he didn't fight me either, so that was good. He wasn't trying to yank it away. He just really wants to go over to his spot and chew on it. Aussie, drop it. Good boy. Okay, good dog. So I just like to, once again, incorporate myself into his play, so that way it's a positive experience. If I'm only ever asking him to drop things when I'm going to take them away, then you create this little monster that wants to run away with everything. I also don't let him know the value. So I'm going to say drop it the same for a toy as I would if he picked up something really, really gross or something I absolutely didn't want him to chew on. Aussie, drop it. Oh, good boy. Huh. Okay, good boy. So if he drops it, he gets it back. You notice I'm not giving him any treats. I don't mix toys and treats. He always gets the toy back. If I am going to take it away completely, then I might give him a treat because we're finished. Aussie, drop it. Good boy. Good boy. Here, let's, I know you guys sent him some tennis balls, so I pulled one of those out. We'll see if he wants to chase the tennis ball. Okay. But I have the same expectations with a tennis ball as I do the soft toy. I can already tell he's going to, oh good, go to your bed. So I can say, Aussie, drop it. Good boy. He's going to let it go, and he's going to allow me to take it. Notice he's not trying to quickly grab it. Okay, good boy. Yeah, he does love chasing his tennis balls. But he's not going to fight me. He's not going to try and quickly grab it. We have a reputation of it's rewarding to let it go. It's rewarding to let me have it because I'm going to throw it and make it fun. I was going to wait till he actually picked it up again. But I think he's just going to bat it around. Aussie, drop it. Good boy, good boy. So now I'm going to take it away and I will give him a treat in return. Good boy. With like soft toys or anything, I've got to pull out of his mouth. So I just put my thumb and pointer finger around his muzzle and kind of pinch them in. So I'm not hurting him, but it's just like a button. We push his cheeks against his canines and he opens his mouth and I can get anything out. So even if it's something big like this, I can just boop, pop it open and take it out. So here, come here. Good boy. So literally it's just over the top and he opens his mouth. Good boy. So we have spent a lot of time handling Aussie, making sure that he's comfortable. Clipped his nails several times, which they're going to get clipped again this week, Checked his muzzle, his ears. He's very used to us handling him. We've clipped between his eyes as well as hygiene cuts. We've kind of put him through the ringer on all these different handling exercises. And that's because he is a doodle. He's going to have to be groomed, so we want to make sure that he's comfortable being handled, being in those situations. Good boy. If he was throwing a temper tantrum, so if I was clipping his nails and he kept pulling his paw back, I might stop clipping because I do want him to be comfortable and I don't want to accidentally clip too short. So I might just hold his paw, wait for him to calm down, and once he's calm, then I can go back to clipping. But also, if he's uncomfortable and I'm putting him through a series of different holds that might be weird, I'm then going to pay him. So I'll make sure that good boy, make sure that it's a positive experience and he's not just being tortured. So the other thing here, kind of mixing up, drop it, chewing, handling. So he has not lost any of his teeth, which these little dogs, they usually lose them. They're slower at losing them than a bigger dog. So another month or two, maybe even 3, he's going to start teething. He's going to need to chew. So we need to make sure that we give him appropriate things to chew on. If not, he's going to find something to chew on, and we never like what they find. So anytime that he is chewing very heavily, I give him some options. Make sure once again that we're matching texture and consistency, so that way we're matching his needs. Good boy. And Siri is eavesdropping on my conversation. Okay, so mealtime manners. Every time that we've fed Aussie, we have him hold an automatic sit stay. So typically I shake that bowl, he sits down, and then I should be able to lower this and stand back up. Notice I didn't have to say stay, and then he's looking at me, he's paying attention, waiting for permission. And then I can just say, okay, good boy, and then he's free to eat it. Yeah, not gonna, he did already have breakfast like literally an hour ago, so I don't expect that he's gonna be too hungry. If he doesn't eat, I just take it away. I don't expect him to finish his food every single time, nor am I going to force him. So if he doesn't want it, just like that, it's just gone. I just take it away. I'll give him, a minute or two to eat, but if he walks away, I take it away. I'll also make sure that I give him water. So if he walks away from his food to get a drink of water, I'm okay with that. The other aspect to all this is resource guarding, which I've never seen him display any of that. We've spent a lot of time handling him, why he has his toys or why he's eating, also with other dogs around, and he's never been one to resource guard or act big and tough at all. Once again, he loves other dogs. He's not great at reading their signals, so you do want to make sure that he's not just getting in another dog's face and causing them some irritation, but he's never going to act aggressively towards them. So with children, if we have small kids around, I do like to make sure that I give him a toy, just something to direct his mouth towards. Okay, good boy. So that way he's not grabbing hands or pant legs or anything like that. But he loves my kids. He thinks they're the greatest things in the world. So he's really good with kids. Okay, I believe that's all of our manners. And so we are going to move into our obedience commands. So the first command we're going to talk about is our place command. So I absolutely love this command. I think it's super useful The standard for this is that I can send him to place. So I do that by pointing and telling him place. All 4 paws need to be on the bed. I don't care what position he's in. He just needs to stay within that boundary. Right now, Aussie will stay for a couple minutes there. He's doing really, really well with that. And that's with moderate distractions. So we're always adding new distractions. We have our 3Ds, so that's distance, duration, distraction. By adding those 3 things, we create a very solid place command, which technically I didn't even send him here. I just moved the bed out and he jumped right on. But once I'm ready for him to come off, I can just say, okay, good boy, come here. So the actual command looks like this: Aussie, place. Good. Once he's on, I give him a treat. I do not give him a treat for coming off because I don't want to build a charge. I don't want him to anticipate this release. I want him thinking that he is going to get way more treats by staying on that bed than coming off. We have been working on creating an expectation that this is a universal command. It can be anything with a defined boundary. So if we're on a walk, I could send him to a rock or a stump. That is a work in progress with Aussie, so something to keep doing, but that's also why I want to be close when I tell him place, is because it could mean different things. These beds are the easiest to teach because they do have a nice clear boundary. Anytime we use like towels or blankets, something that's flat, that's harder for them to recognize that boundary. As a puppy, it's something that we've got to build up, which he's doing pretty well with that, but definitely something to keep practicing. Now, as he continues to stay, I will continually come up and reinforce it. Good boy. Boy. So talking, I mean, this is not a huge distraction. Sometimes he thinks that I'm ignoring him and that I forgot about him, and that's when he would try and break when we were talking. So this is still a decent distraction. It's not a huge distraction, so I'm not going to reinforce him reinforce the command near as often as if like my kids were here. When my kids are here and we've got a lot of chaos, I usually stay close and I'll be like, oh, good boy, really helping him understand that he needs to settle there. We can try and add one of the harder distractions. Oh, nope. So that's a break. So I just sent him back, place. Good. Now where he broke, I'm not going to immediately give him a treat. Instead, I want to make sure that he's steady. This is probably one of Aussie's hardest distractions. Good boy. But now where he showed that he's steady, I'll reward it. So here, okay, good boy. Now I'll release him, and he thinks I'm going to trick him again. Okay, Aussie, good boy. And the ball's a great reward here. Huh. Yeah, good boy. Love your tennis ball, huh? Okay, we're gonna do that one more time. Aussie, come here. So he can go on by himself, that's fine. And once he goes on by himself, he can come off by himself. But here I want to actually send him on again. Come here. So I'm gonna guide him off. Aussie, place. And now we're gonna implement a little bit harder distraction. Good boy. Got to break these treats extra small. So like I said, we're going to implement a harder distraction. I'm going to leave his view. I'm going to go outside, and we'll see that he stays. Oh, good boy. Good boy. So he stayed, even with the knocking. I'll come back, tell him good, give him a treat, and I can walk away again. Real life applications. So I love to use the place command when people come over. So we hear that knock on the door, I send him to his place, so that gives him a job. So I don't have a dog that runs up to the door wanting to bark. Or maybe I'm bringing in groceries, I just need him out from underneath my feet. I can send him to his place. Maybe I'm doing the dishes, or we're just trying to relax. Send him to his place. Very easily, if you're consistent with this, within the first year of a dog's life, he could hold up to an hour-long stay on place. So, but Aussie's doing great. Okay, good boy.
Good boy.
So here, once again, he's a little hesitant. The funny thing with Aussie, if I correct him ever for breaking, then he thinks that I'm trying to trick him when I release him. So if he does that, I can just simply take the leash and just say, okay, good boy, and help guide him off. We're gonna move that bed now. Okay, so very similar to the place command would be his crate command. Aussie, come here. So I can just tell him, crate. Which here, if he hesitates, might have to help him out. Good. So, okay, good boy. This isn't the normal crate location, so he's a little unsure. Crate? Good. But that's a good example of, okay, not getting frustrated, but helping him out, because you'll probably have to do that same thing with your new crate or the crate at your home. If he's a little unsure, I just get down to his level and guide him in. Once he's in and turns around, okay, or good, I'll give him the treat. I say good. Nope, I know, I confused you on that. That's my fault. Good boy. Okay, good boy. Crate? Good. So I say good when he goes in, and okay when he's allowed to come out. So that one I definitely confused him because I said okay. And that's another example of don't get so worried about saying the right thing. He's going to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. It's just about then making sure that we help him succeed and get the correct behavior. Aussie, come here. Good boy. Crate. So my expectation is that I can just point and have him go in. Okay, good boy. And then if I need to, I can tap on the top. Crate. Good boy. Okay. If he seems really hesitant, you can pick him up and set him in there, but I don't want to shove him in there. I don't want to make it a negative experience. This is also a command that I like to practice way more than I use it just to lock him up. Because if I only use this command to lock him in the crate, pretty soon he's going to build an aversion and try and go the other direction. We want to make sure that it's a positive experience. Are you looking for water or are you looking for your toy? Here, we'll give you a little bit of water real quick. Nope. There, you got a little excited for it. Okay, good boy. So we'll give him a quick drink and then we'll keep going. So practice, practice, practice the crate command. Make sure that it's a positive experience for him. Don't just use it to lock him up. Otherwise, he won't want to go in the crate anymore. So I'm not going to let him drink a ton of water because I don't want to fill him up more than we already are. Good boy. And you'll get plenty of water a little bit later. Yeah, good boy. Okay, so that's our place in our crate command. Now we're going to go over sit, down, and stay. So our hand signals, sit is a little scoop over the nose. Down, I take my hand flat and go kind of off to the side. Stay is a stop sign. Come here, Aussie. Good boy. So sit, down. So here, if he's a little hesitant, which down was probably our harder command for him, I'll just get a little lower. Stay. Nope. Stay. So notice there he kind of popped up. So I just, very simple correction, don't need to be harsh at all. Just make sure that he's listening, paying attention to what we want. Okay, good boy. Good boy. So we have both a sit and a down stay. Aussie. Come here. Nope. Good. So there's an example of him just kind of wanting to do his own thing. Good. Stay. I'm walking the other direction. I'm not harsh. It's just a, nope, you've got to listen. So now in this sit stay, if now he decided to lay down, I'm okay with that. He's just getting more comfortable, which a down stay is a lot more of a solid stay anyway. However, if he's in a down stay, he's not allowed to come up, which right now he's got like 20 to 30 second stays with fairly simple to moderate distractions. Okay, good boy. You keep looking at that door. I'm wondering if you also might have to go to the bathroom now. So we're gonna see, he's gonna go ring his bell right here. Ooh, he's looking and then got distracted by a crumb. So if I was at your house and he did this, I would then help him ring the bell because I definitely think he needs to go to the bathroom. So I would come over, so his bell's right here, have him ring the bell, and we're gonna take him out. Ooh. And I'm just gonna kind of hang around. I don't wanna like force him, but I'm just gonna wait and see if he'll ring it on his own. Because yeah, he kept eyeballing over here, and then when he walked over to his bell, but then got distracted by a crumb. Oh, good boy. I think our bells might be running out of battery because he stepped on it. Huh, good boy. So we're gonna go out to the bathroom. Okay, good boy. Okay, good boy. So sure enough, went out there and peed. Yeah, you're a good boy. Okay, so jumping back into our sit down and stay. Sit, good boy. Down. So he's being a little hesitant with his down here. Notice how he keeps just looking away. So once again, I'm not gonna get frustrated and I'm not gonna yell and like slam this hand signal, but instead I'll get a little bit lower. Okay, good boy. And make sure that we always get a success. Okay, I don't want to get frustrated. I don't want to sit there and no, down, 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 because he is a pretty sensitive soul. So instead, I'll just get lower and help him succeed. Down. Stay. Now, with these stays, if he breaks once or twice, I just tell him no, have him do it again. If he breaks a third time, especially a third time in a row, it's too hard. Whatever the distraction is, whatever's going on, maybe we've been working for a while like we have now, it's too hard for where Aussie's at right now. And so I don't want to just keep pushing him to failure. Instead, I will break this down to the simplest behavior. So if we were working on this down stay and he kept breaking at 19 seconds, okay, good boy. The next one might be 3 seconds. I just want to make sure that I keep it positive because Aussie will shut down, he will get frustrated, and then he won't do anything for us. So we always want to make training fun. Typically our command sessions are only 5 to 10 minutes. We'll do multiple of them, but that way I can keep it kind of high energy. I can make sure it's fun and I don't push him to that point of frustration or failure. But he's doing good. So that was sit, down, and stay. So once again, we have a sit, stay, and that down stay. But we're doing good, huh? All right, so now we have the leave it command, which I'm trying to see what I have that we can work on a leave it with. Out, huh? How about this? So here I've got a container. Woo, actually has some butter in it. So I'm gonna let Aussie check that out, which, come here. We're just gonna walk him up. So if he comes over and looks at it, which we've practiced a lot, my lunch that I bring is usually in a container like this, and we'll throw it on the ground and just see if he wants to check it out. And then we practice our leave it command. We practice leave it a lot on walks because they're always finding garbage or poop or just something gross. And so when I actually tell him to leave it, it means it's forever forbidden. We don't get to check it out. We don't get to sniff it. We don't get to lick it. It is forever forbidden. Come here. So I can just say, leave it. Good boy. And he's going to ignore it now. And even if we continue to walk around this, good boy. Notice he almost gives it a wide berth. Huh. Now if we were on a walk, so here if he, no, leave it. Good boy. Good boy. And I'll continue to reward him as he continues to leave it alone. If we were on a walk, and there's garbage sitting there, I can tell him, leave it. Oh, good boy, and we can just walk past it. So, good boy. He's doing a great job with that. Okay, so that's all of our obedience commands. Now I'm going to quickly shift our camera angle to take advantage of a larger portion of the room, and we'll go over the leash work. So we're going to start with his heel. We'll talk about engagement, what to do if he pulls, then the long lead and the recall, and that'll finish it up for us. Heel. Good boy. All right, so we're going to talk about Aussie's heel. So obviously we're inside, walking around the room, but when I tell him heel, this is my expectation, that he's following right alongside on my left side, right here close. He's paying attention to me. Good boy. And not trying to run off or get overly distracted, which there's not a lot of distractions right now. But this is my expectation, that he's left side by my knee. When I stop, he stops, and he should sit. Good boy. And then when I say heel, we start walking, and he should match my pace. So if I slow way down, he should slow down. If I speed up, he should speed up. Good boy. Good boy. So Aussie's doing great with his heel. Now the heel is for you. This is not how we exercise Aussie. Good boy. This is how we get from point A to point B. We're getting past distractions. This is when I need his focus on me, and he needs to ignore everything else going around us. So this takes a lot of practice. Out of everything that we've taught Aussie, this is going to be the one that takes the most effort on your part to have a really proficient or efficient heel. So practice, practice, practice. And that's the reason I'm showing you in here right now. Of course, it's been rainy outside, so it's not like we can really go out for a walk. However, I like to start in an environment where there's very limited distractions. So that way I can focus on our success. I can focus on him making eye contact with me, looking up at me, and I reward that. So the first few times you do the heel, you're going to be rewarding him like every 10 to 20 seconds. It's like, good boy, good boy, good boy. Huh. Good boy. Because the other part of this is if I want him to ignore the distractions around us, I need to be pretty distracting myself. Good. Good heel. Good boy. So I'm to a point now where I'm rewarding him every, 30 seconds, just depending on the distraction. So the harder the distraction, the more I'll reinforce. And I only do the heel in short bursts. So it's like 2 to 5 minutes max. I mean, his attention span can't handle much longer than that anyway, but this is a very focus-based activity. Primarily, I like to have him on a long lead, and that's how we exercise. But then if I saw a distraction, I could reel him in and have him go into a heel. So once again, I'm using the heel when I get past distractions or I'm going from point A to point B, not to exercise him. Now, I always have him on my left side, and so I do try and put the distractions on my right side because I don't want him going face to face and that distraction pulling him away from me. Instead, if he's going to get distracted, I would rather him have to go through me in order to get to it. So that way I can give a quick correction and I can use my body language to block him. So on a leash, he's never allowed to pull. Doesn't matter the length. So obviously this is a very short leash. Well, this is a 5-foot leash. And I wrap it up and only give him about 1.5 feet to 2 feet of space. So that way I can quickly correct him if I need to. So he's never allowed to pull. If I feel like he's just a little bit distracted, he's not necessarily pulling, but he's not paying attention to me, then I'll use his name, maybe some kissy noises, just to get his attention back. So it's like, hey, oh, good boy. Yeah, and he's gonna look back at me. So then I don't have to correct him, I just redirect him back to me. You're getting tired, dude. But if he started to pull, whether that was towards a distraction or away from it, either way, I'm going to correct him. So my correction is a no and 2 pops on the leash. So they're not harsh. I'm not yanking him around. I never want to inflict harm, but my pops are up and they're just quick. It's kind of like this tap on the shoulder. So it's no, pop, pop. If he fixes his mistake, he looks at me, he's walking politely, then I will reward that. If he goes back to pulling, or if it doesn't stop him from pulling in the first place, I will do it one more time. But I will get a little bit more firm. So it's like if we're walking, he's pulling, no, pop, pop. He ignores me, no, pop, pop. So a little deeper and a little more firm. I never really have to be very firm with Aussie. Plus, he's like a 6-pound puppy anyway. It's not like he's going to drag us down the street, but it is inconvenient for him to be pulling. So correct him twice. If that doesn't work, I'm going to come to a complete stop, where it is we are not progressing towards that distraction if you are not in control. So I stop, and this is where I evaluate. Because generally he's going to stop, he'll sit down, he's paying attention to me, and I can tell whether he's just a little distracted or whether he's becoming reactive. So if he's distracted, he'll kind of stop and look at me. Maybe he'll still pay a little bit of attention to that distraction, but I'm still able to get this focus. And if that's the case, I'm going to work on our heel right now. So this is where I will do like some corrective U-turns, where it's just back and forth, really making sure that he's paying attention to me. Or I'll do some sporadic walking, where it's a lot of start and stop and switch directions. So what those look like, if it was a corrective U-turn, when we're walking, I will then turn completely away from him, and I let just the leash tighten, okay? So I'm not yanking it at all. It's literally just his momentum correcting himself. So I stop and walk away. So this kind of forces him to have to watch me, and notice how he speeds up. So that's what a corrective U-turn would be. It's just back and forth, and then he's going to realize, oh, if I don't pay attention to this guy, I'm going to get kind of yanked. Sporadic walking is I'll step into him. Oh, sorry. I usually don't like to, it's not trying to kick him or anything, but it's just my body language cutting him off. And it's just, oh, we're going this direction, now we're going this way, and now we're stopping, and then we're starting again. And so once again, it's just kind of forcing him to pay attention. Good boy. But he does a great job. So that's just if he was a little bit distracted and I felt like I could work on his heel. If I feel like he's reactive, so maybe there's another dog approaching us and Aussie's just pulling and barking and just wanting to get there, instead of trying to heel past that dog, I would much rather engage with Aussie. And so when we get to that point, if I stop and he's just kind of going ballistic, he's barking, he's pulling, I am going to then step between him and the distraction and kind of walk through him. So distance is the first thing I do. I get some distance from the distraction. There is always an amount of distance I can get to where he settles, or at least comes out of that reactive state and starts to put a little bit more focus on me. So distance is your friend. I will stop once I feel like he's paying attention to me with my back towards the distraction. And now I will reward simple victories. Oh, you're looking at me? Good boy. You're sitting? Good boy. You're not barking? Good boy. Once I feel like he's calming down, then I can open up to where we can observe the distraction, or maybe the distraction's gone and then we can carry on our way. If he can stay calm here, I might reward him a couple more times for being calm, and then we can start to walk again. If he got reactive again, I would just step into him, between him and the distraction, help him remain calm, and then I can open up. So I do need to remain calm. I said that like 3 times. He needs to be calm, I need to be calm. Because if I get anxious, if I'm like, oh, no, don't do that, it's going to make him more anxious, and then he's going to think, you know what, I need to be more reactive. So I'm going to stay calm, I'm going to help him build confidence, and we're going to let that distraction go. I find times to practice this, and we just call it the art of doing nothing. And so if you can just go to the park, go sit on a park bench and watch the world go by and reward him for being calm, that's fantastic. It's like, oh, there's a stroller, you're calm, good boy. Oh, there's a jogger, good boy. Oh, there's another dog, good boy. We can observe without interacting. Which Aussie, once again, he loves people, he loves other dogs, so this is a great thing to practice. Good boy. He is exhausted. Okay, so that's the heel, that's engagement, what to do if he pulls. Now we're going to talk about his long lead walk, which this is how we exercise him. So this is a 12-foot lead. My favorite length is a 15-foot lead, but where you guys are right in the city, this might be about what you get. Good boy. So when we go on a long lead walk, we'll go at his pace. He gets to check things out. He can stop and sniff the flowers. And I get used to stepping over the lead because it's not like he has to stay right here in my bubble. But he's still not allowed to pull. And anytime he hits the end of the leash, this is when I practice our recall command. And so my recall command is just, Aussie, come. Good boy, okay. So I say his name, there's a brief pause to make sure he's listening, and then it's come. And once he starts to come towards me, I say good boy. So I'm marking that behavior of actually coming towards me. And I'm telling him that's the right thing, keep doing it. And then once he gets to me, it's okay and he gets a treat. If he hesitates, I have this lead to give him a little bit of pressure towards me, which it does not take very much pressure. So it's, Aussie, come. Good boy, okay. And if you can tell he's tired, he wants to play with the leash. So if he ignored me, it would just be a no. Oh, good boy, okay. So I put that pressure in. He immediately gave into it. Like I said, it doesn't take very much, and started coming towards me. So once he started coming towards me, I said good, and then okay when he got to me. So this walk is a lot of recalls, and it's just, hey, you can check things out. We're just cruising around. And then every minute or so, I just call you to come, you get a treat, and you get to go back to doing what you were doing. So very enjoyable for him, but it's also a great time to practice for you. And this long lead makes it really nice to where I can just give him that pressure and have him come back to me. If we're off leash, I don't have this lead to reel him in. And so if he ignores me, I have to go and get him. So one, practice with this long lead before you ever let him off leash. We want to make sure that we build a good relationship with Aussie so I know that he's going to come back to me when called. So here, we'll give it a shot here. Man, we're getting tired. Aussie, come. Good boy, okay. So anytime that he's off leash and I'm going to call him to come, I'm stacking the odds in my favor. So bending down is very encouraging to a dog. I'm being really chipper. I'm going to use that good marker repeatedly just to make sure that he's not going to ignore me. If he does ignore me, I'm going to immediately tell him no and start walking towards him. Okay? If I started walking towards him and I got like 75, oh, good boy, just like that. I was kind of motioning towards him. He was sniffing the tripod. Good boy. But once he noticed me, he came to me. And so in that situation, like even if I went 75 or 90% of the way there, but then he noticed me, I'll immediately stop walking. I'll say, good boy, and I might take a couple steps back. So that way, I'm kind of reinforcing this recall. Even though he failed for the start of that, he ended on success, and so I'm going to reward that. I never call my dog to reprimand them, and I'm not going to correct him or I'm not going to ever, wow, that was terrible. Just if he comes to me, I'm going to be super happy. I'm never going to reprimand him, even if that was only, the last 5 feet. But if he completely ignored me, if I said, Aussie, come, and he ignores, and I had to get 100% of the way there, Aussie, come here. Once I got to him, I could either clip a leash on him or I could take him under the collar and I would just say, Aussie, come. Oh, good boy. And I would walk backwards. So that's how I can really reinforce that, even if he failed. The moment he hesitates, he goes back on a long lead. He no longer has freedom to be off leash. So we've been practicing this a lot. So a lot. Because like I said, Aussie would get in this mindset where he's like, I don't want to do that. And he would run away from us. And so we've practiced his recall a ton. And he does a good job. But you have to follow through and you have to develop this relationship where he knows that you're going to follow through. So, Aussie, come. Oh, good boy. Okay. So, I believe that is it. As you watch this, as questions come up, please write them down. we can definitely go over them. He's been a lot of fun to train. He's super, super cute. I know you guys are going to love him. So once again, if you have questions, let me know. But we appreciate this opportunity, and we'll talk to you soon.